dog sight. Tell them been in that living room all white. I'm up all night, season ends while niggas sleeping. Lost so many guys, guess why I'm breathing. We keep it strong as the name live on, like if they was never gone. Mind blown, and neither might ever see.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the Grit Culture. Man, let's talk about it, man. So this was surprising news, man. I seen posted everywhere as I woke up this morning. Pretty sure a lot of people who are familiar with this guy and linked into a lot of those blog sites that discuss that, discuss that area over there in New York, they who get that in their algorithm, they already been made aware of it. But Alpo Martinez was killed in the drive-by this morning on Halloween, 3 a.m. this morning. I'm guessing at his apartment. This article right here, this is directly from the source. You've seen it at all type of different spots. 55 years old, man. Shot in the chest in drive-by fashion. I guess he got hit. I don't know if he was out the car or sitting in the car, but they got the crime scene photos. They got, the truck all shot up and everything. It's wild. It's wild. It's wild, wild, wild. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. He did a lot. He did a lot during his time in the drug game back in the 80s. If y'all don't know, the movie Paid in Full was based off of those guys, based off of, the guy who Cameron played, Rico. That was based off of Alpo Martinez. The guy who Wood Harris played, Ace Boogie, that was AZ. And Mekhi Phifer's character, Mitch. I don't know if he had Porter on there, but it was based off of Rich Porter. And so there was a few things that were changed in the movie, but it was based off of that, the whole ordeal and those guys and how they moved up in Harlem. But Alpo Martinez, man, he snitched. He snitched on a lot of folks, man. He put in a lot of pain in the streets, man. He had a lot of people killed. Whether it was justified or not or anything like that, I don't know. I do know he had put out that he did that whole little thing. I don't know what site that was, but had it to where he went back to the crime scene where he killed Rich Porter. And it was just, I don't know, man. I wasn't feeling that. Seemed tasteless. It's just because you having the family members. He says he has his reasons to do it. There's never no reason to kill nobody unless you defending yourself, right? But he had his personal reason to doing it. But it's fucked up because you had the family members that got to relive this nightmare, and then everything that he was saying was so vivid of how the person died and everything and going through the process. And he did it with another guy, a guy named Big Head Gary. And, just giving graphic details. I think, like I said, I think about how the families, the people who are related to this person, how they have to relive that nightmare, the people that you've, taken off of this earth. But, he did a lot of dirt in the streets. And when it came time for him to, face the music and everything, and he got caught up, him and Wayne Perry, what they were doing out in Washington, in D.C., the D.C. area, he told on Wayne Perry. He snitched on Wayne Perry and everything. And so, there's nothing, I don't advise anybody, live a street lifestyle and different things like that. But one thing I can't respect is a snitch just for the specific reason that you're not doing it to make a change or anything like that, or nah, man, repenting for your sins or anything like that. You're trying to get a shorter sentence. you're trying to get a shorter sentence, so you throwing your own guys who you were involved in the game with under the bus when y'all take a, basically, whether you did or not, it's an unwritten oath. Once you're getting into this game, you gonna go down with it. You go down with the ship, no matter what. You don't throw nobody else under. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, unless it's just something, if it's something to where, something that you ain't had nothing to do with or something like that, and you feel it's the right thing, y'all know how I say, we got to get the dirt bags off the street. You talking about rapists and different things like that, or somebody going around killing mothers, or even, cats going around just killing cats just off some fugazi type stuff, man. Shit like that. Like I said, killing is never permitted. It's never, there's no excuse for it unless you defending yourself, right? Other than that, man, if you ain't trying to make a change on that, and trying to get the guy, at least trying to bring the justice, I ain't got no qualms on that, but trying to sit up there and get a shorter sentence or trying to get, shorter punishment, that's something that even transcends the streets. We talking about what if you trying to make a change and, activism, creating a militia, different things like that. And you sitting up there giving the authorities information that they ain't got, man. There's nothing honorable about that. And so I'm not here to shit on the man. It's just, like I said, it's a screwed up situation, and it's sad that, this is the life path that, he chose to go down. But many, especially black men, took this route because of, as far as I know, like I said, as far as I know, I don't know the, all the ins and outs because I wasn't there in the 70s and 80s. But, from what I know, this is the, there wasn't too many options. So, of course, we know that the CIA and, the government was involved in different shit, like the Iran-Contra deal and everything like that. So they putting a whole bunch of drugs onto the street, knowing that people are starving and trying to find an opportunity. So it's a perfect opportunity, for people to do what they had to do. And they had the right to, engage in business with other people, man, to make some money, so they could, do what they had to do. But, that whole war on drugs was a complete scam, man. And it broke up a whole lot of families. But that doesn't, excuse all of the, the killing and all the shit that went on with it. None of that is permitted at all. I think all the families that ruined, right? So, man, no. He snitched on a lot of people, man, to get his sentence cut. He was finally released in 2015. As, people have been seeing over the past, 7 years, he was moving around on the streets freely. Now, I don't know if he, some people are saying they thought he was, he thought he was untouchable or anything like that. And he was up in Harlem. He was up in his stomping ground. I don't know if he thought he was untouchable or anything like that, or the fact that he was just willing to accept his fate and he didn't want to live life on the run, live life staying in the house forever. You know what I'm saying? That's just how people want to move, and that's just something that that's understandable. You don't want to sit up there and trying to stay out the limelight, or not even the limelight. You just want to do what you want to do. What's he gonna do? Where's he gonna move to? How's he gonna, you want him to go off somewhere and get a, a little small time job or somewhere and be in recluse, change his identity? It's always an option, but that just ain't how he wants to live, man. He wants to be in his place. He wants to be in Harlem. It's probably a place that he loved, and so, he was gonna move around like that. But sure enough, people don't forget this shit. And I don't know if it was related, but we can just only speculate that's probably what it was. When it's shit like that and it's beef and people got a real problem with you, they may not get you today, they may not get you tomorrow, but it could be any time down the line, especially when the opportunity presents itself. we saw that happen with, and like I said, we don't know if these situations were linked to the original issue that these guys had, right? But we saw that with the guy who was accused of murdering Big L, right? They got him years later after he was released for prison, you know, few years ago. Probably, you know, that's probably about what, around the same time Alpo got released, and around that area. I forget what year he got killed. Not only that, think about Griselda Blanco. They got her, she's in her late 60s, right? I think she was in her late 60s, if not late 60s, probably 70s. I could be wrong. But they did a drive-by on her. Two guys come by on a motorcycle and spray her shit up, right? That's just, you know, that's just the game, man. So, it's a cold world, man. It's a cold world. Cold world. So, it should be just a eye opener to anybody. Like I said, I just been all type of eye openers, man. The stuff that you see, everything's posted, everything's accessible on social media. You able to see the whole Chicago scene, seen all the rappers who have died over the years, the guys who, you know, who had names and were prominent names that everybody knew in social media, even overseas people knew their names, right? And we seen them all pass, right? And it's all sad, man. It's all sad, but, you know, life is about learning. And so hopefully there's kids, you know, people, youth, not just kids, but adults who are learning from this type of thing and understanding, right? That, you know, there's consequence. No, and I don't even want to say it was a consequence, but understand that the possibility that, you know, it's just life is real out here. Nobody is untouchable. They can get you at any time. Now, if you choose, this is how, you know, you want to go out, you know, and you're willing to accept that is what it is. But, you know, it's a screwed up situation, man. I hate to see this, man, you know, every day from my black folks, man, from my black, you know, community. See all this shit happening, but, you know, like I said, we got to do something to end it. We got to end the cycle. We got to end the cycle. We got to create infrastructure, you know what I'm saying, so they can have a opportunity. They can have another way of trying to get it out here instead of trying to resort to the streets and then get caught up. You know, even if they do get caught up, think about all the guys that end up telling and different things like that because they, you know, what I learned, man, what I learned early, man, is a lot of these guys just ain't ready. They just moving day by day and they not ready for none of the consequences. They're not ready for the consequences. They sit up there when it comes to getting caught by police. They can go out there and move around and think they tough and shit like that. But it gets down to it, they'll start ratting, even getting murdered. You know, you think you're in the game, you think these guys in the game and they, you know, they with whatever comes with it, man. A lot of them, man, it's not the truth. I'm pretty sure a lot of these guys, man, are in a panic as they taking their last breath. Seen guys in jail, man, sitting up there crying, you know, in a panic because they doing, you know, just a little bit of time locked in prison, man. You know, I mean, not in prison, the county. You know, and these are street niggas, right? These are street niggas, people doing the cop bodies and all type of shit. So not everybody's prepared, and I don't want to say that's the case with Alpo. Like I said, he lived how he wanted to live. He's doing the interviews, riding his bike all through Harlem. There's a lot of people, a lot of families he hurt in that area, you know, including, you know, Rich Porter's family. And, you know, like I said, doing those interviews and opening up old wounds, man, ain't no telling what happened. So, God knows better than all of us, you know, that God's will be done when it comes to his soul, man. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. And hit that like, share, subscribe. And I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.